Okay, hello, welcome to my second video. Well, there's more than one video on my channel, but second proper video, so to speak. Okay, so this is going to be my personal craft bag or sewing bag essentials. So, first thing is the threads from my current project, which I'll share with you. So, they're in there to keep them safe because I have two cats. Very naughty, very cheeky. Okay, these I explained in my first video why I use these, but I basically use them to gather the fabric on my hoop. So I just keep those in there, and while I'm not using my project, they're not boring holes into the fabric, which they don't anyway, but it's easy, just keep them off there, stop any damage. Potential damage. Highlighter for marking off your charts, very useful. Okay, scissors, always good to have embroidery scissors. Tape measure, very cute. I had two of these, but Luna, my cat, decided to chew it up, so I only have the one. Needles, these are just various. I think there's some beading, there's a beading needle, and there's just various sizes. Very handy case. Pin cushion. I mean, just there we go. I made this myself. Just a bit of cat hair. Yeah. I think that's even weave, just some fabric. So yes, pin cushion. Don't buy them, they're so easy to make. Well, I suppose if you're an amateur and you don't well, I'd consider myself an amateur, but you knock yourself one up. It doesn't have to be neat and tidy as long as it keeps your pins safe. Or alternatively, needle minders, which I do have. I don't keep them in my sewing bag unless I've got a big project, but I'll just keep my needle minders in here. Make them yourself. I mean, you can some people sell them so expensive, but just needle minders. Little ladybug one. I'll just, if you don't know what a needle minder is, I'll show you how you use them. Okay, pin tin with some pins, handy to have. Although I don't use them too often, but always handy to have. Random button. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Very useful box. Is it a very useful box? Is that what it's called? Really useful box. That was close. Anyway, always keep one of these. They're just so handy. Thread Heaven. Very useful. Thread conditioner. Conditions your thread so it doesn't snag when you're doing cross stitch or embroidery. I'd say an essential for me as well, and I don't know, it just makes the colours look so much more vibrant. I might do a video on with and without Thread Heaven, and you see the difference. For when I'm using double-sided sticky tape, just easy just to score, and or what else do I use it? No, pretty much for, yeah. Okay, so lots of plasters. I'm always forever catching my fingers. I'm a cleaner as well, so my hands are incredibly dry. So as you can see, yeah, so they're always handy. Oh, there's some more magnets. I made that needle minder because I really like the bottle cap, but it's damaged. I wish it had come off neater. And those edges on your fabric or on your chart, if you're using a needle minder to keep your chart onto a specific bit of board or something, yeah, just snag the fabric or damage your chart on that like really key, you know, bit of your pattern that you need, and you can't figure out what, you know, how to do it on its own. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it with a bottle cap unless you fill that bit with a resin and then glue your magnet on top of that, so all that's sort of covered. These are really strong magnets, tiny but really strong, so they're good for making needle noise. I feel like I'm just jabbering on and on and on. Oh well. Okay, a square of tin foil. Some people will probably say, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Others might say, oh my god, what are you doing to your scissors? But I cut through it on, you know, with my scissors, and it just keeps them sharp for when they've gone a little bit dull. So I'd say that was, you know, just useful. Oh, needle threader. Don't need a fancy one. Just, yeah. You could be the best needle threader in the world, but it still comes in handy, and another tape measure. So it's in a little really useful box. Okay, these, as you can see, I have cats and cat hair. It's everywhere, especially in between, you know, where you're sewing, and it looks awful, so tweezers. Okay, oh, screwdriver set, little screwdriver set. It also has a hole bodger and a little screw maker, but you only need the flat heads really. And these are useful, but I need something. I don't know if there is a product out there. If there is, you could tell me. That would be a great help. But essentially what I use them for is big projects and, you know, tightening up there, which these don't fit perfect. So when it gets tighter and tighter, it tends to slip. You can have a nasty accident. So if there is a specific tool for tightening up these, please let me know, because that would be so useful for me. I just need to get a tissue. Caught my finger and now it's bleeding, so. Just a little fine point pen, great for making notes on your charts. This chart that this project that I'm doing, the chart. Okay, and I'm back because my phone rudely interrupted me, but I've been able to get a plaster on my finger and make a nice cup of tea. So yes, okay. So I was saying about the pen, just nice to make notes on your charts, especially when one colour has more than one symbol. So just very useful. Pencil, useful. Okay. Thread unpicker. When you're stitching tired, which never ever do, you can make mistakes, and then you'll figure out your mistake, and you'll hate yourself for it. You spend forever unpicking it, and then you put it away until you feel like stitching again, or at least I do. Okay, so needle books. I think this one's just my embroidery needles. Oh, these I got. Does anybody else get those magazines when they first come out? Oh, first edition, this great cross-stitch magazine, fabric and threads, oh, and needles. I only get the first edition if it's like 99p, and I never carry on with the subscription. So I think that was from one. If you're in the UK and you're a stitcher, you'll probably be aware of the cross-stitch one. So yeah, I make my needle cases. I don't buy them. I don't feel the need to. I think this one's just got your normal. Oh no, those are big needles. So that's those. But when I first ever started cross stitch, I think I was about 13, 14. God, look, that looks terrible. I did that on a trolley at Home Bargains. it wouldn't let me have my token back, and I got a bit angry and it attacked me. Anyway, yeah, so when I first started sewing, my nan, she's got an overlocker, or a, oh, what's the other word for it? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Anyway, she's got an overlocker, and she'll make anything and everything. So she made me this little needle case. So yeah, just your normal everyday repairing needles. Useful. Oh god, IKEA pencils. Does anybody else take handfuls of these? Because I tell you what, for a sewing kit, I think they're so handy. You can lose them, it doesn't matter, you just go back to IKEA. Just the right size, they're not too big, they're not too small, and they're good. Oh god, they're nail scissors, I don't know why they're in there. Nail scissors. I suppose you can cut thread with them. And another bit, I got these free in a magazine. They're not the best, cross stitcher. I used to get that magazine religiously. I don't anymore. I think the kits are going really downhill. And I don't think it's worth the money. And I don't think most of the charts inside the magazine are worth the money. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, but for me, personal preference, just another unpicker, always useful to have. So yes, those are my sewing bag essentials. I've got to put it all back in the way I like it now. Just use whatever you want for your little sewing bag. I mean, I have sewing boxes. Oh god, look at, see, I do not use it. That's disgraceful. It's kept and it just gets so dusty. Don't judge me for this. Anyway, so what do I keep? I don't even keep sewing things in there. Okay, so we've got an old phone case to a phone that I never bought, but I bought the case for it. Oh, these pegs. Okay, yeah, I bought those for something that I was going to do, but I never got around to doing it. A hole punch. Yeah. Oh god. I don't find these useful for, yeah, there's no way I could fit all that into there. And for it to be comfortable. I mean, they look pretty and they are lovely and vintage-y, you know, vintage look to them, but I don't find them all that useful. I think you'd have to have a pretty big one, but then again, that's not very practical. So this I like. I think I got this from a Chinese wholesale website. It's Domokun. It's meant to be a makeup bag, but I use it for, I didn't stitch these. I bought these from, oh, there's the, yeah, oh, god, years ago. I think it was a Lucky Dip she was doing. I just like to pin things on there when I think that's the Marie Curie, the cancer charity thing. Yeah, I made that one and I was gifted that one because, I don't know, yeah, I've mentioned my cats a lot anyway. But yeah, it's just useful, something like that. Whatever's handy for you. I mean, if you like these, great, but I don't use it for the purpose that it's intended for. So, yes, my essentials, my sewing bag essentials. If you think I need to add something or to take something away, or what you think would make my sewing experience better, let me know. And as well, if anyone's got something that's different from these, which is safer and better, would love to know. So, thank you.